miller went off to warn Clearfell about a strange sickness. I was fixing to go after him. Tell that bluff I would appreciate it if you could... Reach Clearfell. Find the miller.
The Rathan here is stronger than I dared imagine. I swore I'd never wield one of these again. No going back now.
You're mine! One step further from home. Wind fury! So this is the sickness out. At least your friend weren't here to see what you've become.
Elton, please come inside.
What a sorry sight. Spirit watch over this lot.
Renly's the name. You're skilled with the violence, if what you did out there in the riverbanks is any sign. Another refugee from the Count's justice, I take it. Well, have no fear. This place is something of a hideaway for many of us now, and we could sorely use your skills in these dark times. I'll smith for you what I can, if you're willing to bend your violence toward our defense. There's a beast of particular dark power stalking us out in the felling. It moves unseen under the dirt and attacks without warning. We can't leave the walls to find food, and I've been unable to corner and slay the beast myself. Now, if you could channel your violence against this devourer, as Finn calls it, we'd be indebted to you. Well, this place was never meant to house this many people, especially not the sick and injured. But there's nowhere else to go. The monsters creeping out of the forest keep us locked within these wooden walls, and the Count's tyranny has made outlaws of everyone here, so nobody's coming to save us. I don't have the heart to tell the others I don't see a way to survive this. I put on a brave face, but it's the truth. This part of Farrell has been a fair home for many an Essamite generation. The clans didn't always get along, but we had to settle our feuds when the Eternals laid their savage boot upon us. We weren't able to take part in the Bloody Flowers Rebellion, but we had our share of conflict with them here. Their ruins run over the top of ours, fighting a silent war in stone. It's a shame what happened to old Brannock. He was a kind man in life, but I can't say I'll miss the creature he became. He tried to batter his way in for 5 full days once he rose again. Well, we thought we were done for, but then you came along, and I'm glad you did. What would you like? Deal. Go well.
Looks to be a decent sort, that one.
Welcome to the Camp of the Lost, stranger. We survive, but we do not live. I am Una. All this began the night Count Gino took his most loyal men into the Grellwood. After he returned, a madness grew in him. Something happened out there. Please, I beg of you, travel into the forest and begin your search. There must be some clue as to what took place. I fear this land's sickness will only deepen unless we do something. Renly brings the strength, Finn brings the wit, and I'm doing my best to keep spirits raised with my songs. Hope is the only thing we have now, but it's in short supply. He doubts himself, but I know he will find a way to protect us. He is a good man, and I am thankful for his presence. In many ways, he reminds me of my father. I like to hold on to bits and pieces. Stay safe, if you can.
A woman without a place to call home. We have that in common.
Thanks for the help. Name's Farah. Some call me Runeseeker, but Farah will do fine. I'm far from home, but these lands are even more unwelcoming than I expected.
You're not the only one far from home. Hoping you're here for a happier reason than I am.
Runes, inscriptions, etched into remnants from ancient times. For whatever reason, they burn brighter in all this bedlam. Now, a smith I may have been back home, but I'm no clansman, no warrior. Perhaps we can aid each other.
Need someone to watch your back while you go rune-seeking, as you called it?
That's about right. But you'll also reap rewards from the knowledge we uncover. Speaking of, let's investigate that remnant. Ah, a formidable inscription. But we can add to it. Combinations of inscriptions react to the will of the inscriber. Look here. My tome contains many rune shapes. Try your hand at one. fine team.
Storm's coming!
That was impressive. The Verisium in that remnant was mighty powerful. You did well. Now, I've travelled to Ogden because I'm researching the origins of my craft. Some Ezamites would say rune shapes were simply brought to us by the first ones. But I reckon there's more to the tale.
Well, only one way to figure out what's real and what's not. What can I do in that regard?
Help me in my research, and I'll do what I can to aid in your undertakings. Seek out more remnants like this one. It'll be worth your while. Good on you.
Storm's coming! You're mine! Time to find bigger game.
ghastly invader! Exile!
Sorry, I like to hold on to bits and pieces. It's beautiful. I accept. Goodbye. I survive, but all that I was is gone. Count Gino has only been growing more and more cruel with his justice. He arrested my father for bringing in the harvest one day late, and the rest of my family scattered and fled as the soldiers came for them. I was away when it happened, but my neighbors warned me on my way home, and I fled. Clearfell is as far as I could go before the dangers of the forest closed in. There is scant hope in my heart for my father, but I must believe my mother and my 2 younger brothers escaped, even though my heart tells me that they are just songs now. I keep longing for a ray of light to cut through the darkness of these bleak days. Bye.
No common beast could carve out something of this size. Drill of the hunt! Batten down the hatches!
Hello. I've collected these over time. What do you think? Another for my collection. Thank you. Stay safe, if you can. Sorry, I was just... Finn makes fun of my collection, but I think it's charming. I will treasure it. Another for my collection. Thank you. The Devourer is just another victim of the sickness infecting our precious land. Many of Ogham's beasts are fearsome and dangerous, but not like this. The infection in the soil, water, and air is changing them. All of them. It is sad to see such a great creature slain, but it was no longer what it once was. I suppose it had to be done. Bye.
Wind's fury! Take this!
Oh, finally! Took down the Devourer, did you? Oh, that's incredible! This is the first real success we've had against the darkness. We can breathe a bit easier now, perhaps even go out and gather food. Now, this won't cover our debt to you, not nearly. But take it as thanks. Bad enough I have all these folks to protect. I've been worried sick about my son ever since the Count's men arrested him. I was hoping you might have seen him when you were in their custody. He's a big lad, but you can't miss him because, well, he's not from around here. I found him washed up on the riverbanks when he was just a child, a Carrowy foundling, perhaps lost by some raiding party. Nobody ever came for him, though. Every day here in Clearfell, I keep my eyes on the river, hoping he'll miraculously wash up on its lonely sands just one more time. If you find a pint... How can I help? If you find a pint out there, do bring it back. What have we got? Bad enough I have all these folks to protect. I've been worried sick about my son ever since the Count's men arrested him. I was hoping you might have seen him when you were in their custody. He's a big lad, but you can't miss him because, well, he's not from around here. I found him washed up on the riverbanks when he was just a child, a Carrowy foundling, perhaps lost by some raiding party. Nobody ever came for him, though. Every day here in Clearfell, I keep my eyes on the river, hoping he'll miraculously wash up on its lonely sands just one more time. Here's what I've got. Deal. Might make good scrap. Till next time.
Gone! Whipping up a stone!
I have received reports of a number of villagers hiding at the Clearfell logging site. Travel there and convey my order. I have received reports of a number of villagers hiding at the Clearfell logging site. Travel there and convey my order to return. Anyone refusing my authority should be considered a traitor and a criminal. Deal with them as you see fit, but bring their bodies back to the manor.
Look out!
The roots are infused with magic.
Ugly mushroom! Let it bear witness.
This
Awful lot of mushrooms. More than you'd expect.
even the trees have escaped this rot. Nature's hurting, and only stopping this wrathing will set it right.
Yes. These are just some odds and ends of mine. It's beautiful. I accept. Stay safe if you can. I've collected these over time. Stay safe if you can.
Gorilla the Oaks!
Finn makes fun of my collection, but I think it's charming. It's beautiful. I accept. Stay safe, if you can.
Welcome, violent stranger. I am Finn, and I shall be your humble provider of useful and diverse objects. That are most definitely not scrounged or stolen. If I don't got it, I can get it. You just let me know. You killed the Devourer in its own lair. That's mighty brave of you, hero. Now at least we won't starve to death. One less way to die, I guess. Oh, Rinley's all right. Only man in the village that didn't run me out of town whenever he saw me. Well, maybe it's because he didn't have a daughter to protect. Aye, then.
He's trouble, he is. But
Good day. These ancient remnants. We've nothing like them back home. They're quite the sight, don't you think?
no doubt they're impressive. But why can we see him now when we couldn't before?
Perhaps they were always here, and we only see them now because the world's gone to shite. I can't be sure of the answer. Either way, I'm glad to see them. Our inscriptions go way back to the beginning of Ezemite history. Pay no mind to common folk babble. They'd have you believe the first ones bore us from mud and slime. Load of rubbish. I know runic inscriptions like the back of my hand. But of late, I've begun seeing them in the night skies.
You see their shape in the stars.
That's right. At first I thought I was just enjoying too much fay leaf, but even abstaining from the pipe didn't change what I saw. Rune shapes. In the stars. Clear as the great wolf's howl.
What's it mean, to see rune shapes in the night sky?
Well, I asked around. Not many runesmiths left in Ezemir to ask, mind you. Not much of Ezemir left at all, for that matter. There's one fella, drunk as the day is long. I asked him, Bertram, you ever seen rune shapes up in the stars? He grumbled and threw up on himself. That's when I knew I wasn't going to get any answers sitting on my arse. I see them up there. Some just tweaks on existing inscriptions. Others entirely new. I set my chisel to work and had some unique results. It was then that I decided to learn all I could, to become a rune seeker.
You said there's not much of Ezemir left. What happened to it?
Ezemir stretches a great distance, and yet many of the clans are scattered, dead, or otherwise unknown. It's a far cry from what we once were. Where I'm from, the Isles of Scoth, well, we've done all right. Watch the stars.
How's the clearing? That place used to be a kind and warm wood. I even played there when I was young. It's a dark well now, with no way out for most. I'd go with you, but I got people to protect here. If you find a pint out there...
Hello. The first ones ran wild through the Grellwood of old, hunting and brawling as they saw fit. It is said that the spirits of the forest would watch them and be entertained. Over time, the forest became abundant with the joys of those spirits and their old magics. It was a haven for the unity of life and spirit. That place of beauty has now become shadowed and deadly. The curse upon this land has made the known paths of the Grellwood twisted and treacherous, so much so that we can no longer even reach our home.
By decree of the Count of Ogham, able-bodied men capable of excavation must present themselves at the manor at once. Failure to do so will constitute a crime.